Hello there, and welcome back to my Minecraft Playtime series, episode 3. And as you can see, I've been kind of getting to work demolishing the old and preparing for the new. I've got sort of these paths marked out in diorite. These are kind of going to be areas where I'm going to have roads. Got this granite here to show that this is going to be sort of a plaza where we have the entrance to our crypt, which is right down here. And right back over here, I've got sort of a circle, a really big circle marked out in andesite and diorite. And this is going to be sort of the center of our village. I haven't, fully decided exactly what's going to be here, but you can see this big circle of andesite, and then the smaller line of diorite is going to be a path. But this is going to be sort of the center point of our village. So once I decide exactly what that's going to be, whether it's, a palace or a temple or who knows what it's going to end up being, this is going to be raised up kind of above the rest of the village. So that's just a little bit of my plans. We're probably going to extend the village pretty far off in this direction as well, all the way down to the rivers down there, and then maybe even in the future off into the distance. But for now, I'll show you what I've been doing. So coming down into our crypt, where all of our villagers are, I've got some farmers up here that are giving me some pretty good trades. And then down here, I've got my villager breeder. And if we travel down through the underwater cavern, you will find an absolutely ridiculous number of villagers. I can't even walk in there. They're probably suffocating to death in there. But that's okay, because that's not a problem. And then over here, I've just got a sort of makeshift zombification sort of system going on here. And this is my most recent guy. I think he's got, I'll do one more in here just to show you how it goes. So all I do is I press this button, and he's going to be coming all the way around to the top. Bring him down here, and he's good to go. So we'll just leave him here to de-zombify, and we'll head up to do something else. As we stand here in the rain, I think I'll tell you a little bit about my plans for this episode. So, if you'll remember in the last episode, I said I wanted to be a little bit more focused, I suppose, in how I go about this time around. So for this episode, I've got myself 3 main objectives. I'm going to, 1, complete an iron farm. 2, I'm going to create a melon and pumpkin farm. And then finally, I'm going to prepare to fight the dragon. I'm probably not going to actually fight the dragon in this episode, but I want to have all my gear and everything that I'm going to need all prepared for that fight. So those are the 3 main things that I want to get done here. And while I'm doing that, since I'm going to be building the iron farm and everything here in the village, I'm also going to be working on filling out the rest of our crypt. And I'm not going to be able to finish all of it. It's going to be a very long process. But our lonely mending villager could really use some buddies to fill out the ranks. So we're just going to be kind of working on that in the background as we do it, because zombifying villagers takes a long time, and I like to keep myself busy in between build sessions, so that's the plan. It's been several days since my last clip, and as you can see, or hopefully as you can hear, I got a new mic, and it's honestly amazing. Nothing fancy or anything, but for the past, I don't even know how long, I've been using two sets of headphones. The first one was the older one, and it doesn't have a mic in it, and only one of the ears actually works. It's just old enough, and one of the ears fell off, and it was terrible. So whenever I listened to things, I had to use only one ear, and that's pretty annoying. And then the other one that had my mic, which generally wasn't even that great of a mic, it got dropped, or I don't even know what happened to it, but something happened to it, and some sort of contraption in the ear. I don't know if that's, I mean, I'm sure it's the mechanism from which you like the sound actually comes into the headphone, but it became disconnected, and so now whenever I move my head even the slightest bit, it jingles super loud in my ear, and it's super annoying because I have to use it for all my recording. But now I've got a new one, and it feels amazing, the sound is amazing, and yeah, I'm really happy. And despite not having actually done much recording, I have been incredibly busy, as you can see. The first thing is our melon and pumpkin farm, which I won't show you this because I just emptied it, but we've been pretty productive as far as that goes, and you'll see how in just a second. And the other is our iron farm, which has also been very productive. I've been AFK for almost 2 days straight, to be honest. That's probably an exaggeration, but at least a full day. So that's good. And the other thing is my crypt, which actually is starting to get filled. We've got a whole bunch of, what do you call these guys? Stoneworkers? Masons. Got a whole bunch of masons along the top that are giving me various kinds of terracotta, which is going to be really, really nice later. Plus the quartz. You can never say no to quartz, but especially the terracotta, because the nearest Badlands is really far away, like over 10,000 blocks away, so it's not going to be super convenient. And I've also got the start of a couple villagers with some decent books, especially this one. This is probably going to show how little I've worked with villagers in the past, but I didn't even realize that efficiency 5 was possible to get from a villager. I sort of just thought that efficiency 4 was the highest you could get, kind of like when you're enchanting, but that is possible. And this is where all my melons and pumpkins have been going. I've been getting all sorts of trading done from these guys. And then there's my villagers, who have been incredibly productive as far as breeding. In fact, it's been a little bit annoying. The babies, I kind of need to be a little bit better about this, because the babies keep slipping through here and then running up my stairs and getting out into the wild. But this has been just absolutely fantastic. Slowly working through my villagers as we go. Still plenty of work to do here. I'm super happy with how everything's going right now. And we've actually already finished the two main things that I wanted to get done in this episode, which were, in fact, the melon and pumpkin farm and then the iron farm. So those are both done, and we've still got plenty of time left. But real quick, before I talk about what my additional plans are, I kind of wanted to mention I sort of had a plan, an idea for a build to go around the melon and pumpkin farm and the iron farm, and it was a really good idea, and I still think I'm gonna go through with it. The big problem is it really messes with the production of the iron farm. So I've been thinking a lot, and I may or may not just end up AFKing a whole bunch for tons of iron and then just destroying the farm. I mean, I know it feels bad to destroy it not long after I make it, but I'd say if I can get like maybe 2 or 3 double chests filled with blocks of iron, then that should tie me over for quite a while. And I mean, I can always come back later and make a ultra mega super duper iron farm later on. So this is probably gonna be coming down eventually. That way I can get the build going there. But anyway, my plan for the rest of this episode is, I think, just to go back to the nether, get some more blaze rods. I already got a tiny amount so that I could brew up all my weakness potions for my villager zombificator sort of thingy. But yeah, I need to get a whole bunch more of those, and I need to go back to the nether and grab a whole bunch of ender pearls. I think that'll be the easiest place for me to get those. And then I'll just go out and figure out where the end portal is, because I mean my armor's still needs a little bit of work, but once I get my protection for villager, then these are gonna be just fine. Tools are pretty much all good to go, and still need to upgrade. In fact, oh, how about I just do that now? All right, just gotta put this one and combine it with this one, and this one has more enchantments, so there we go. Got a Power 5, Flame, Unbreaking 3, Infinity, Punch 2 bow, which I think is about the best you can get. Maybe I could get better if I went Mending instead of Infinity, but at this point in time, I don't really have infinite arrows, so it's just easier for me to go with Infinity. But yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to go to the end and fight the dragon and finally get ourselves some wings and shulker boxes. So I am going to go to the end, get some blaze rods, get some ender pearls, and I'll be back and we can go on a hunt for the end portal. Well, I figure I don't have too much to lose by... Oh, very well. I will deal with these guys first. Yeah, I'm a lot stronger than I was last time. Yeah, I'll let you go. What was I saying? Totally lost my train of thought. But the gist of it is, I think I'm going to spend a little time trading with these guys just until I can get a fire resist potion, because that would be very useful to have just in case, you know, something bad happens here. Definitely wouldn't want to get lost in the nether and fall into lava or something without netherite armor and end up losing all of my stuff. Not that it would be exceedingly difficult to replace at this point, but it's just an inconvenience I don't really want to deal with. I am going to be hooking up an automatic piglin bartering system here, I don't know, soonish, I suppose. I'll get that all set up eventually. But for now, this should be good enough. I had no idea the little baby piglins could pick up your gold and just take it. He needs to stop. He needs to stop doing that. He's gonna die pretty soon. I did get a splash potion, but I'd really like to get a regular potion before I go out, if possible. I mean, if that's the best that I can get, then I'll just deal with it. But see, he just took my gold. Ah, kids, what are you gonna do? You gonna give that back? No? All right. Okay, well, I think the splash potion's about the best we're gonna do. We're just gonna deal with that and head on out. Alright, 39, I think that's plenty, to be honest. We're probably pretty good on blaze rods for now. Alright, and we're out now to find some endermen. Alright, almost 2 stacks. I think that's good enough. We're not going to actually fight the dragon when we get there, so we don't need to have anything too crazy, but we are ready to go looking for it. So I'm going to grab my horse, and then we're going to head out. Let's see what direction we have to go. Oh, there we go. Didn't even see it. Alright, straight in this direction. So, let's head out. I've got a bad feeling that we're gonna have to go out into the ocean. Oh. You only eat the best. So we need to go in that direction, but it looks like I can go around this way, and I think in the long run it'll be faster to take my horse. All right, looks like we're on the right track. Okay, just gotta cross here, and I imagine we're really, really close. Looks like I'm going into the water. I think this is pretty close to exactly where we need to be. Oh, it's so nice having respiration now. Nice try, guy. That's a very red box. There's a library, and I am definitely taking all of these bookshelves. Our first smithing template. Not too shabby. Time to clear the library. Alright, we will take these all back to our base for safekeeping. There we go. We found it. We'll just get that out of the way. And there we go. I suppose we can activate it real fast. There we go. And we are now ready to fight the Ender Dragon. After I go back and prepare. And prepare I have done. Got all sorts of different potions that we can use for our fight later on. Our gear is all pretty much maxed out. Got some poppies turning into bone meal down here, which, while not useful for the fight, is going to be useful later on. Our melon and pumpkin farm, as well as our iron farm over here, has been running basically non-stop for several days. I haven't been playing constantly, but I've been pretty much AFK'd for 3-4 days, and we have pretty much as much iron as we're maybe not ever going to need, but we've got enough to pretty much fill all of our needs. As you can see, I found some jungle and dark oak saplings from a wandering trader, so I've got access to those types of wood now. But the most time-consuming thing that I've been doing is down in our crypt, where I have filled out a very large portion of it. Over here around the top, we've got all of our masons giving us various types of terracotta. Didn't put a lot of work into deciding which one gives what, but we've got at least one and definitely multiple of most of them. We've got our librarians up here. Most important, our mending and silk touch here. Efficiency 5, power 5, and eventually I'll probably fill the rest of this out with villagers as well. Or not villagers, but specifically librarians. And then here we've got our farmers who are turning melons and pumpkins into an endless supply of emeralds, which is really good for us. This guy doesn't have a pumpkin, but most of them have melons and pumpkins. But I've recently had to create a new entrance into our villager breeding / zombification area. So we just come down here into the water, and originally we would come down here, but my path has been blocked by villagers. So instead, we gotta go through our new entrance and come down here where we get a little preview of our villagers, and then we can do whatever we want to. We can either send them straight up via here, or we can send them down through the zombification chamber. But yeah, lots of progress made this episode. Admittedly, most of it has been... Actually, I should sleep first. But yeah, admittedly, most of our progress has been pretty grindy, sort of not all that interesting kind of thing. But because we've gotten all of this out of the way, the next episodes are going to be able to be a lot more focused on, you know, building and doing other cool stuff. So I think that's where I'm going to leave off for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Bye.